Hey everybody, Andrew here from the Guitarist podcast. Today we're going to be talking to you about the science fair from Summer School Electronics. Now the thing about this pedal is it is probably the most recommended pedal since we started doing the Guitarist podcast. I think that's the thing that most people have reached out to me to say that we need to try and that I should do a demo video on. Now, here on the Guitarist channel and podcast, my wife Kat and I, who is my co-host on the show, we are huge fans of Summer School, and it's really personal for my wife because she was a teacher for a really long time, for over a decade, and she still works now she works at a university, but for a long time she taught elementary school, kindergarten, preschool, like all different grades. But right now she works at a university, but still it's really nostalgic for her to see like a pedal company with all the school-themed pedals. So we're huge fans. We always cover all their releases on the podcast, and it was really cool. Mark reached out, and he actually sent this out to us as a thank you for covering all his releases and talking about his upcoming Fretboard Summit pedal building class that he's going to be teaching. And it was really cool. So I'm going to dive in. If you have watched the channel before, I don't do straightforward, here's all the settings, here's everything that this pedal can do. I show what I do with my playing style in the genres that I play. So I'm a lo-fi guitarist. I do a lot of garage rock, indie rock kind of stuff. So you're not going to hear a lot of blues riffs and stuff here. So let's talk about the pedal a little bit. Again, this is not going to be a full in-depth demo. This pedal's been around long enough that there are plenty of those out there from a lot of big channels. So, we'll just do the basics. So this side right here with the green knobs is your test tube, which is essentially Mark's take on the tube screamer. This other side over here with the black knobs is the lab rat. So obviously, a take on the rat. What makes this unique is it's a blend control to go between both styles. So you can have all of the tube screamer side, all of the rat side, or blend anywhere in between. And then there's a master volume. So you have independent gain and tone controls, but then they share the volume and blend control. So what's really cool about this, for me in particular, is one of the first real pedals I ever owned was the Boss OS2 Overdrive Distortion. And that did kind of the same deal where it wasn't necessarily, a tube screamer and a rat, but it was kind of a take on a DS1 and an OD2, I believe. And, neither one sounded that great when you were blended on either all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And then in between was kind of a sweet spot. But overall, it's a pedal that's still in production. And I've bought it multiple times because the nostalgic thing for me was like, oh, I got to go back and get that sound again. And it's a love-hate thing for me. So when I finally got to try this, I was like, oh, this does what that pedal was trying to do for me. That hits where I need it to be. And it saves the space on a pedal board because I don't have to have a tube screamer or a rat. So let's dive on in. We're going to start with just the tube screamer side, or test tube screamer, sorry. We're going to start with just that. Drive and tone all the way up. What I want to highlight on this is I'm going to start playing soft and gradually increase my playing dynamics. And it's just, I'm not a fan of tube screamer style pedals in general. I do like the Earthquaker plumes, mostly as a boost. But with this particular pedal, like I said, I have the gain all the way up, the tone all the way up. I feel like it is the most dynamic and clear sounding tube screamer style circuit I've ever played. So let's jump on in and listen to that. So as you saw in that first clip, I'm using my 1995 made in Mexico Stratocaster. We're on the middle pickup for that clip. We are using a little bit of delay from the Keeley Caverns. We're running, as always, through my Fender Bassbreaker 15 combo, and we're using the Ohma World ribbon mic to mic that up. Now let's jump on into the second clip. We're going to go the opposite side. We're going to do the lab rat side, and we're also going to do drive all the way up, and then tone all the way down, because as with most rat style pedals, the tone all the way down is actually your brightest sound. So the drive cranked and the tone all the way down. We're going to jump right in with my Squier Classic Vibe Starcaster so we can get a little bit of humbucker action in there. And we're going to go right into the pedal, direct into the amp. No reverb, no delay, no other effects. We're just going to hear that as is. Alright, so we're going to jump right into the last tone on this pedal. That is my favorite personally. So we have the drive and the tone all the way up on the test tube side. On the lab rat side, we've got the drive down a little bit. It's a little bit over halfway. And we still have the tone all the way down, so you get the most brightness you can out of this pedal using both sides. And like I said, we're going right down the middle with the blend, but with the drive down a little bit on that lab rat side, you are getting a little bit more clarity from the test tube, and you have those undertones of the heavier, higher gain lab rat side. So for me, you have a good mix of the clarity, the distortion right there in the mix, and I think this is great for just like a lo-fi rhythm guitar. And there's enough room in the mix for everything else. I could layer leads over that with a little bit higher gain, or some more delayed effects, or some modulation in there. And so for that one, I'm going to be using my Squier Affinity Jazzmaster. Let's check it out. Alright everybody, thanks for checking out the video. I want to say a special thank you to Mark from Summer School for sending this out to us. It's a really cool pedal. We're really enjoying it around here. And I just want to be clear again for everyone watching. This is not necessarily a sponsored video. I did put that it is sponsored content because he did send this out to us for free, but there was no expectation of making a video. It was just as a thank you for the coverage that we give him on the podcast. And I could see why so many people have recommended the science fair to me in the time since we've been doing this, even before we were doing the podcast. Like, I've had other guitarists tell me, like, you gotta try this thing, and I really see why. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of tube screamer style pedals, but I have always been a fan of when tube screamers are stacked with something that's higher gain, and this is a classic pairing, the tube screamer and the rat. Like, tons of guitarists have used that over the years, and for me, again, going back to the whole Boss OS2, that's like the most nostalgic pedal for me at the beginning of my guitar playing. So to have like a more modern, updated version of something like that, where you can blend in between the two, like the overdrive and the distortion, I love it. And this has been on my board for about almost 3 weeks now, I think. And I've been really taking the time to get used to it before I did the video. And I found my special sounds in this thing that are gonna, make their way onto some songs I've been working on. And what else can I say? Check it out. It's $164.99 as of right now. So go check it out, summerschoolelectronics.com. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff that we always, ask you to do to help support the channel. It would really help us out. Other than that, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. And check us out every Sunday on the Bad Guitarist podcast. All right, we'll see you later.